Warning, this video contains things that might not be suitable for you right now. If any of these things might upset you, save this for a rainy day. This video contains possible spoilers for Creaty X/Creation X and ABC lore, stuttering, minor tweaking out in the end, swearing, and shenanigans. If this content doesn't look great, please don't feel bad to save this for a better day. Love you all dearly. Take care.
Hi, hello there, everybody. My name is Dex, and I'm here with another interview. Wowie kazowie. Isn't that crazy? However, this time I do not have this person on a call like I did with my first time. This time I sent them a document to fill out. So we're going to be reading their answers. Yay, yay, yay. I'm so excited. Let's get it started. Let's get this started in here. Name and pronouns. My name is Sunky, also known as SunkyDoesStuff. I used to go by a different name in a different fandom, but rather not say since it cringes me out. I go by she, her, but I don't mind going by they, them. Have you ever been interviewed before? Nope, this is my first time getting interviewed, and I couldn't be more happy to be given this opportunity to do so, since it was my dream of mine, getting interviewed for my creations. Tell the people about yourself. I'm 21 years old. I've been doing art and animation since I was 12. I've always loved the idea to make your own characters out of whatever you wanted, and little me took the idea to the max. In my free time, I also like to collect Pokemon cards and toys, do some doodles, and even do DIY stuff. Lately, I've learned how to do photo cards. I know how to make stickers and cardboard standees. I'm Hispanic. There's sometimes where I just let myself speak Spanish when I'm comfortable because I only speak it around my family. I'm still learning how to read and write in Spanish since my whole life I was taught in English. I have to say, there's going to be some times when I mess up with my English grammar and spelling, so forgive me on that. I've learned the English language my entire life and I still mess up with grammar. You're all good, babes. Who or what are your inspirations? My biggest inspiration has to be Friday Night Funkin' vs. Sonic.exe mod, since that's where it all started when it comes to EXE. When it comes in general, animation memes and those old MS Paint speed paints have been the main source where I just started to do my own thing. I used to look at them and think I could do this and one day become as popular as them. I loved those things, especially the My Little Pony ones. I watched those all the time, and they were so fun. Are you more of a Sonic or an EXE person? In 2022 to 2024, I used to be a both type of person when it comes to Sonic and EXE. Nowadays, I feel that I'm more of an EXE person than Sonic person. Only do get involved with Sonic when it comes to my favorite characters or merch I want from the franchise, lol. Who's your favorite Sonic character? I have a ton, but my all-time favorites have been the Chaotix, Vector, Espio, and Charmy. I just love a group that's more about comedy, and I really have to watch that one series of them. I forgot what it's called, my bad. I also like Blaze, Shadow, Rouge, Metal Sonic, Ray, Marine the Raccoon, Mephiles, Mephiles. I think it's Mephiles because of his design, and lately I've been starting to like Amy more. I love Amy. I also have recently become to love Amy a lot more than I originally did when I first started looking into Sonic. Who's your favorite Who's your favorite EXE or oddity? I have a few. I think just by the name I have is obvious, laughing my fucking ass off. But I really love evil Sunky.mpeg. Also love him. He's so cutie patootie. He's such an inspiration when it comes to the comedy in my project. I also love Lord X, Xenophanes. No, it's Xenophanes. It's Xenophanes. The fan canon version. Wistful, my dear friend of mine, Marcoworlds. Oh my god, Marcoworlds mentioned! EXE, Metal X, another dear friend of mine, Sunny. I know that person as well! EXE Hero, and etc. I don't really say I have a main favorite, since I believe everything deserves the same attention over something I love. I love that. That's a great, way to think about it. Any of your upcoming projects you're excited for? Yep, obviously with the project for Creation X and ABC. I've done different projects in the past, but I felt like I didn't do enough for them and ended up losing interest in them. This is the first time in a long time in a long while where I do put all my hard work and research over something I'm passionate about. I'm still thinking of a name for this since I've noticed each EXE has a title for themselves. I'm still trying to think of every day of a good name for this project. Are you a digital only artist or do you partake in traditional art? I do both. Whenever I do traditional art, I only do it whenever I'm feeling in the mood to do so. I've done some headshots for characters traditionally for Tomodachi life mostly, but I do draw other stuff that's not just that. There is this Japanese artist that I love to watch, and they do traditional art most of the time. That's mostly my sort of inspiration to continue on doing traditional work. How long have you been doing animation for? Since 2017, so almost a decade. Crying emoji. Animation memes in general have been what I do most of the time. On rare occasions, I actually have done more than animation memes and animated stuff from my own brain, or done other stuff in general, lol. What do you use to animate? An iPad, computer, laptop, phone? I used to animate on a tiny phone when I was first starting to do animations for YouTube back around like 2017 to 2019. In the same year in 2019, I got a bigger phone where I could continue from there. Then in 2021, I got a tablet, not an iPad, it's a Samsung tablet, and continued from there till again that same year, I accidentally broke it and got a new one. Nowadays, I still use that same tablet since 2021, but I think there might be a time soon next year where might need to upgrade to a more modern tablet. Same. I've been using the same tablet that it's not tablet. I've been using the same iPad I've had. Maybe it's like 2020 or something. It's been a while. How often do you get ideas? What do you do with them once you get them? It depends. Sometimes my friends help me out with ideas, or I just regularly find them on my own for content. And once I do get them, I either write it down or save the video that has the audio I want. After that, it depends whether or not I want to start on it. Since most of the ideas I brainstorm while listening to audios, that's why I've started to do concept videos. I do the idea as a sketch, edit it out, and have it up so I don't forget it. What's the process of going from idea to final result, whether animation or art piece? Concept videos, when it comes to short videos, after I have the concept video up, it depends if I want to do the final thing or not. When it comes to art, I always do the sketches in a different app called Sketch, an app that's no longer in app stores since 2019. If I'm satisfied with the sketch there, I transfer it over to another app for better quality called IBS Paint. IBIS Paint. That's mostly where the animations come from. If not, they come from this other app called Flip-A-Clip. I've used the app since the start and I haven't changed to any other animation program. How long would you say it takes to animate? It takes you to animate. To actually animate? Like head bopping and lip syncing? That mostly depends if I'm in the mood to do something like that. But mostly it takes like a day or two if I'm really focused on it. What is your favorite form of story to write or create? I don't think I have a favorite yet, since I'm still learning the different types of writing, so this is mostly the first time I'm taking writing to a serious level. Are there any drawings or animations you've fully scrapped? Drawings for sure. Animations, however, there are quite a few on my YouTube channel where I don't consider them canon, and more say they're just a test to what I was doing, specifically the ones with my persona in them. I wasn't serious at the time, lol. Do you have any advice for people who want to make an EXEAU or don't know how to start or how to build a world and characters? I have given advice to some people before when it comes to this. The most I can say is don't compare yourself to others because that's what's going to ultimately make you feel that your story isn't worth being shown to others. And don't do something that you don't like on your story for your EXE. At first, when I was trying to do my story for ABC, I didn't like that it was gory or that he was a parody. So I decided to rework his story and feel so much better with the outcome. Your story doesn't have to always include blood or terror. It can come in any sort of form that you'd like. So don't be afraid to mix up different genres in your story. At the end of the day, it's your story and what you like. Peak advice. What is your personal favorite of your creations? It has to be ABC so far, lol. He's my first ever EXEOC I've done. Not sure if anybody would be in shock about it. Creative is my second favorite. Is my second ever EXEOC, so the funny thing is, the way I created ABC was all because of a YouTube title I saw on YouTube. I think it was something the character Sonic.FBX, I think. Something like that. I can't remember it well. It was back in 2022. Anyways, I saw the video title with the character and thought to myself, FBX? What's next? Sonic.ABC? Then I realized I can do that, and then immediately I grabbed my tablet and started to do his design, Lamau. If I ever were to make plushies or any type of merch, I would love to make ABC first. Not because he's easy, but because he's my baby. I would buy merchandise of ABC. Are there any creations you haven't showed off yet? Yes and no. I already showed this one character named Sakura Sunk in my TikTok stories before, but never really went that deep into it. So they're still unknown to the public. I do plan to add them on one day as more as a background character for this project, since I could do a project for just them, but I still want to think of a different name than just using Sunk. What was the inspiration for Creaty X? What are her creation origins? Most of her inspiration comes from the Sonic X version of Rouge and Lord X. When it comes to her design and appearance, when it comes to her origins, I'm embarrassed to say so, but it used to be a Sona for me, actual me. More for around Sonic stuff in particular. She was still centered around Lord X, though. Later in mid 2025, I decided to take everything away that was Sona related from her and made her original. Or, well, I tried my best with the slight inexperience I have when it comes to writing. Why Xenophanes for a ship? Was there a specific dynamic that you enjoyed, or was it originally a joke that turned more serious? First of all, because Xenophanes is more now an underrated EXE, I've always loved Xeno and wanted to know more about him. But never really found anything of him that wasn't just the Friday Night Funkin' mod, so I decided to take it to my own hands and make my own version of him. Till I found out about Eric's version of him, which is the owner of the Friday Night Funkin' Xeno I'm using for my story. Second of all, I don't see many ships with him, so I thought it was funny enough to have Creaty be shipped with him, lol. It was a joke at first, although the more I thought about it, the more I learned about him and thought maybe, hey, this could be amazing for a complicated relationship. I used to be like, Xenophanes and Creatiax as a joke. But bro, I don't think it's a joke anymore. Another why question. Why Mighty, Ray, and Fang for the vessels? I've always seen on different EXEs that their main vessels are Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman. I never really liked that idea, since I felt that other characters didn't have that much attention, like Mighty, Ray, and Fang. I had them in mind since the moment I was starting to think about a project with Creaty, and hell, one of my best friends, FrozenFlurry, shout out to him, he does amazing dubs and Pokemon content, got me to learn more about specifically Mighty and Fang. Ray already knew about him since he's a favorite character of mine. So I took the time to learn about Mighty and Fang. It's been fun to research about them, more so Fang. He has an interesting lore of his name, and that ultimately took for background knowledge for Damien's vessel. What is Creaty X's summarized opinion on other EXEs? If I had a nickel for every time I got this question, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Reference Lamau. I'm aware of the reference. Anyways, it all depends. Mostly if you know about the EXE and know at least a summary about them. For example, Rewrite. She'd find him odd, and a tiny chance she'll find him annoying too. Or Colossus. She might just play around with him and tease him till he gets mad, lol. Why is she different from her father? What does she not enjoy? Why does she not enjoy torturing others? Creaty is like her own entity. She learns in her own ways that doesn't need Lord X to help her out to figure things Help her out to figure things out. Figure out things, gracious. Grady is like her own entity. She learns in her own ways. That doesn't need Lord X helping her out. One thing is emotions. Due to her being an entity in modified classic Amy body, she really wasn't taught anything about emotions, which would lead you to believe that she'll become cold and cruel, no. Well, that's not the case. She has learned those emotions through her vessels in her realm. Damien, Kiro, and Samuel aren't the only ones there, as there are more than just them. And because of the amount of emotion they give off, Grady has learned them. I'm pretty sure that X doesn't know about emotions, so that's what sets them apart. As for the torture in question, she thinks that it's a boring way when it comes to physical torture. She's seen it a lot with her father, and when they're with Alan, Kylie, and the others. If she used psychological manipulation as a torture method, she thinks it's enough for X to be satisfied. Why are some of the arrows on the relationship chart black? Oh, that's the past relationship chart, meaning that on the image in specific is what happens in the past. The black arrow means that she never met whoever the arrow is pointing to, which I do want to clarify. The one with Wistful, she used to know about her, but not really get to meet her like she does in her current storyline. That's what I assumed, honestly, but it's still good to just ask, just in case. I feel like the answer is obvious, but why does Damien have some hate for Creaty X? Maybe it isn't that obvious because the other two don't hate her. Why? Because he's the one that gets watched the most. He's like the Alan of her 2011 ex, if you get what I mean. He's the first vessel to be in her realm, and has put a lot of patience onto her sassy comments or any sort of manipulation tactic. Grady's fascinated on Damien, more because of his dull personality, because she knows there's more to him than just him being nonchalant redhead. Damien hates it. He already has to deal with ABC playing around with him, and he cannot stand eyes on him at all times. Does Creaty X still have feelings for Xenophanes? Is that why she's conflicted? In a way, it's kind of difficult to explain. She definitely doesn't love him anymore, but she can't help but think about the moments, at least the ones they were able to hang out, where everything was okay. She knows better, however. What does Creaty's voice claim? Who or what does she sound like? Funny that I talked about this with some friends, lol, but her voice would be a mix of Rouge from Sonic X and Vanilla from Sonic X. I think you know what my favorite Sonic media is, but if I have to pick, definitely Rouge from Sonic X fits her.
Move. Whatever you like. You're pretty tough for an old lady. I'm not going anywhere. Matter of fact, I kinda like being in the spotlight.
If Creaty X worked in a restaurant, what would her role be? She'd be a waitress. Her mannerisms would be perfect for having a good image for the restaurant, lol. What was the inspiration for ABC? Was he always planned to be Creaty X's creation/son? Yup, since the moment he was created, I had the idea for him to be her son. At the moment in 2022, I didn't see any other EXE that had a kid, so I thought I was being original with the idea. I did have doubts, like, should he really be her son? And he technically isn't, since he didn't come out of her womb. But I just went along with the idea of him being her son because it's cute, and because it would make sense in the story. As for his inspirations, more so the idea of him being a parody to other EXEs, since, like I said, it started off as a video titled Lamau. But nowadays, I'd say those education sites for schools and some videos showing off viruses like ransomware or like bootleg versions of the game. I have a particular video in mind when it comes to inspirations, which will be in the next tab. I will say while we're here, when I found out about ABC, which I'll show like the photos and stuff. However, he reminded me a lot of the Schoolhouse Sonic by Z-Tune, which is a retake of the Sonic Schoolhouse, the game, and made it, changed it up a little bit, made it a little funkier, which I love Schoolhouse so much, and I feel like they could have a fun little dynamic. So, recommendation. Why does ABC pull so many pranks? Is it in his nature or just for funsies? Both. It's for fun, and he takes it to the advantage because he can learn from them. Every time he pulls a prank on anybody around him, he learns about from it and keeps it in his memory. It sounds like he's just robot/AI, but I swear he's not. I just wanted to make an entity that could learn fast. Does ABC work as a teacher? If so, or even if not, what grade does/would he teach mainly? It's kind of difficult to explain. He does, but at the same time, he doesn't. It's more so like he's the headmaster of the realm, but at the same time, he's a student there because he's still a kid. If he were to teach, however, I think he'd just stick to either somewhere of second to sixth, since at first I was going to have him be a part of teaching there. But nah. What is it that drew ABC to Sunky? His silly mannerisms. I'd like to think that Sunky has the ability to get wherever he wants and ended up with him getting into ABC's realm. Hello, Sunky. Does ABC Does ABC have any other vessels or just the three? There is, but they ain't important to the story. They're more like background characters that I plan to redesign one day. Though he doesn't have a dad, who would ABC consider a dad? Majin, because of his charisma. Because of his charisma and optimism, they already get along so well, and even Majin gets to teach him on any new pranks he could do, which he would either take advantage of or not. Do you have a reason why ABC's mouth doesn't move? I used to have a different reason as to why, but I forgot. Over time, oops. Now I can say that it's to put in the uneasy effect, if you get what I mean. Like to make him more unsettling than what he already looks and does. Think about it like in those horror movies where they use nursery rhymes or children's laughter for the terror. What other realms has ABC been to? He's been to Sunky's realm, Xenophane's realm, unfortunately, Majin's forest realm, Lord X's main realm with their guardians. Yes, he gets to prank Alan and Kylie. Sanix, somehow, I wouldn't question on that. And Wistfuls. If ABC was to interact with Faker, how do you think that would go? I think Faker would hate the hell out of ABC the moment they met. Bro already looks tired of everything that's happening to him. I don't think he needs to know he has a nephew that could that could play a prank on him, Lamau. How old are ABC's vessels? They're around 16 to almost 50. Goddamn! Old ass people! Golly! Although Pip, Tough, and Mr. Nosy are all adults. Why does ABC hate Tails Doll? What did Tails Doll do to Bro? That's an old concept for his old version. He used to hate them because of the reputation they had, so he doesn't hate Tails Doll now. He'd find Tails Doll funny and interesting. Besides Sunky, does ABC have any other friend? Yeah. Besides Sunky, does ABC have any other EXE friends? Yep, he considers his vessels as friends. I forgot to add that in the relationship chart. Whoopsies! I could say Sunk as well, but that takes a whole new level as to how they met and stuff, since Sunk is more of a virus than you know. Alrighty, just some final questions to wrap it all up. What is your opinion on people adding your characters to other media, especially if they're out of character sometimes? I don't mind it at all. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a point where someone is going to make Creaty out of character, so that's okay. It's something we gotta live through at once. I do mind, however, to not mischaracterize her as goon-looking EXE with no lore. I know that her design is attractive to some people. How'd you know? And hey, I don't mind people simping for her. In fact, I find it funny. It just gets to a point where to say that she has no lore kind of hurts me. She has a lot of lore, actually, and she's really interesting. I want to read her wiki page at some point, so I'm probably going to do that. What is your opinion on people possibly shipping your characters with each other or other beings, long as they aren't, like, illegal or incestuous? Let people have fun, of course, as long as it isn't anything bad or horrible. I don't mind it, lol. I've seen a tiny bit of people coming to me that they like Creati and Xeno together more than her and Majin, which I don't mind. People can headcanon whatever they want. I don't even mind LGBTQ ships with Creati. Like I said, people can have fun. Although I do kind of mind when it comes to ABC, he's a minor. Yabba. Would you allow somebody to have your characters in their media, in an AU or something of the sort, rather than a game? Yeah, speaking of which, Creati and ABC are Under the Flesh. Oh my god, I'm in the Flesh mention! An AU made by my friend Marcoworlds, for anyone that doesn't know. I love Marcoworlds and Under the Flesh! But with a twist, since they have different designs and more as extra characters, lol. But really, I don't mind at all for the both of them to be in other medias, as long as they come to me first for the question. Where can people find you? In TikTok and YouTube with the same username, SunkyDoesStuff. I do have Twitter/X, but I don't post there a lot. I do have to warn that there might be some naughty stuff in that account, so... Did you enjoy this interview? Yeah, trust me, I would have loved to do this while talking, but I know myself and I'll stutter, saying a lot and get nervous, not to mention with some difficulties I had with my internet, but I did enjoy it, and I'm honored to be interviewed by you. Would you say it was organized and easy to read? Yep, it goes straight to the point. It makes my brain understand this faster, so thank you so much. Any final comments or notes? I wanted to give some shoutouts to a few friends of mine, Flurry Frozen, if he was the one that made me do the TikTok account. If it weren't for him, I'd still be very underrated. Marcoworlds, he was the one to help me with the wiki pages that introduced me to new people. If he's watching this, thank you so much. Sunnybunzzzzz, they have given me ideas for some creative ABC doodles, and I may or may not be working with them for a surprise coming soon. Other than that, I'm really honored again to have the opportunity to be interviewed. Thank you so much, and have a great day. And that's all I have for you. Thank you for filling out the interview sheet. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again. Take care. Now we're gonna look at the interview sheet. Here's a few images I'd like to show off for Creati. This kind of took me a while since I did this on my phone, so if there's any errors, I'm sorry. Okay, so... do some zooming in. So this is from 2022. I'm assuming this is, like, near some of the, like, first designs. And then more recent designs. Love her! Oh my god! She's a diva! This is more of what her design was going to be for 2022. Then the beginning of this year, I was experimenting with different outfits for her. She looks so pretty. I love her. These are when I finished her first redesign. She had a different outfit because I was still testing out different outfits for her. That was more the challenging part. Her first classic design, lol. I recently redesigned her classic version, which I'll show later on. She looks so cutie. I love her. Creating a Christmas outfit. The older version with the brown hair was from 2022, while the other one on the right I did recently. There are other outfits of hers that I planned on redesigning, which are the ones as a musketeer, a pirate, etc. And not to mention I have a few versions of her if she was in shows like Sonic Boom and Sonic Prime. I don't know if I'd ever remake those versions. And these are doodles I wanted to add, lol. I love her so much. Oh my god, so joyous. She's very gorgeous to me. Simon! Creating Xenophanes and canon. Context for this one. This is more of a what-if situation. Creati would rage bait Metal X. I love that. I love you so much, you fat little beam. Mwah. Oh my god, he's so fucking cute. I'm going to kill. I love my fat little son. I love your son too. Creati and baby ABC. Ziva! App shot from a concept I'm currently editing. I just really love how she looks here, so I'm sorry. No need to apologize! God damn! One more thing I almost forgot to show is this. Creaty's new classic render I made recently. I still kept a few colors from her old design. I love her so much. She looks so pretty. Character inspirations. And lastly, for Creaty, this character inspiration sheet. I like to do these types of sheets from Pinterest whenever I'm bored, and I thought this would summarize what she's more inspired by. To make it easier, Rouge is from her design and mannerisms, Vanilla is her maternity, Lord X, I think it's kind of obvious. Rarity is from her understanding of generosity, Rosalina from her more like spacey aura. I think that's my best way to describe it, and Rouge.exe, like it says there, for the idea as a whole. Now some images I'm going to show of ABC. Yay! Oh my god, he's so cute. I'm sorry. Whenever I get excited, I need to calm down, bro. The first doodle of his baby version, lol. Oh my god, he's so cute. These are more recent doodles of his baby version. I was out eating with pizza with my mom while doodling these, lol. She found his design cute. He's so cute. Oh my god. Ah! His first redesign in 2025, I believe. I can't remember. I think also from 2025. I changed the marks on his bangs to how they look like now. Oh my god, he's so... I'm perfectly normal, guys. Trust. From 2024, originally I was going to make a playlist for him and wanted to share it off with this image, but never made that playlist public. Even if I do end up making the playlist for him, I'd have to look at the songs again because some don't make sense to his personality more. I want the playlist! Give it to me! Bro, he was in Friday Night Funkin', but he cosplays as Majin, minus the mustache, lol. This is either from 2023 or 2024. He's not flipping you off, trust. He is. So mean! This is so silly. I love this. I don't like using the word silly to describe things sometimes, but they're so silly looking. They're so just. Fun fact, the creator of Sunk noticed this image back in 2024, lol. I love this. This is so cutie patootie. They're so. Feeling cute, might mess around with Kiro. Looking. Feeling cute! Might prank somebody and make him fall down the stairs. I have an image of me squeezing a Sonic plushie, and that's exactly how this image is. Bro, it's Sunky in Friday Night Funkin'. I forgot when I drew this. I'm guessing the same time I drew him as Majin. He looks so cutie patootie. I genuinely forgot this was in the wiki or not. It is. It's in the wiki. But 2022 Friday Night Funkin' concept. I do plan on redesigning this one day when I feel like it, lol. I know this is not ABC, but a recent doodle of Metal ABC. Actually, speaking of Metal ABC, this is from 2024. He canonically likes Hatsune Miku. What the fuck? Is Hatsune ready? Super ABC from 2024. This ended up being scrapped. I still like it, though. I still like it. A doodle of Pip, made in whiteboard with a friend. I think I made this like a month ago. Also from 2024, this was the concept for the characters that were supposed to be in his story. Only the Amy, Mighty, and Ray didn't make it because I didn't really have a good idea for them. It to also be centered like Pip, Tough, and Mr. Nosy, and Metal ABC. Other than that, I think that's everything. I unfortunately don't have many doodles when it comes to Creaty's vessels, but I'm hopeful I will make more in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed listening to me basically talk to myself. It's just me, myself, and I. Stuck in my bedroom. I'm actually in my bedroom right now. And I hope you enjoyed hearing from the creator of Creaty and Creation X and ABC. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I will link the wiki pages in the description of this video for you all to go look at because it's really cool. I think some of it might be outdated, so don't quote me on some of the stuff there. However, I'm live, laugh, loving. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to SunkyDoesStuff for allowing me to do this little interview with them. And I hope they had fun with it. I know I had a great time reading all this and learning so much more about them and their creations. And I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.